I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sufficient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sufficient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sufficient beings. Sanye Jona Soge Jonam La Chancho Pandu Tani Kyapso Chi Nage Shinso Kebe Sonam Ke Jona Penye Sanye Jobara Sho Sanye Jona Soge Jonam La Chancho Pandu Tani Kyapso Chi Nage Shinso Kebe Sonam Ke Jona Penye Sanye Jobara Sho Sanje Joda Soge Chonam La Chanju Padu Tani Kyapsochi Dage Shinso Kebe Sonam Ke Dola Penje Sanje Jubare Sho Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Esham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashamanaye Swaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Esham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Esham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha.
When is the flight to Delhi? 45 minutes.
I read the questions. The questions are really good. In fact, I'm more tempted by the questions than the main part of the teaching, which is so good. But many of you will for sure think that, oh, we got very little time for the question answers. Don't worry, these brochures are there. So believe it or not, the point is that many of these questions require, say, sitting, discussing, day by day, like setting the bricks on the wall, not too high at a time, it'll fall. Because from these questions, some of the very good questions, I can see that you could not really, bring the
link the points which we studied before. You could not connect them, so you remain disconnected. And whereas if you get time to set, you'll see that the questions, while the questions are so good, and you will get answers. You will get answers in a stepwise way, not like everything in one go, right? And so therefore, what I would say is, I would highly recommend, particularly those people who are not happy that we do not get time for the question answers session. I would highly recommend you to now. This one, I'm not too sure if you can join it. This is a 5 years course now already started, and we just kept extending the deadline. So now is almost closed. So this is, but this will be the 4th batch. How many of you are from 3rd batch? Raise your hands. Oh, many from 3rd batch. NDC 3rd batch. Okay. So NDC 4th batch will be commenced in March. So if you are really serious with going, yes, sometimes this is one of the dilemmas. Some people, they come and then they say, okay, Shala, there's this very important topic, please teach on this topic, and it's very important. Yes, it's very important. Then I felt that the person is so genuine, and the question is so good, and the topic is so good, and the person just tremendous enthusiasm there. I said, yes, we'll do it. And then I asked the office to create a program on this particular date with an announcement. Everything is done, and on the actual day, the person who requested is missing. So the point is, sometimes the people who are intelligent, who have intelligence, they ask questions on the spot, and then what is that? That's the English expression. Out of sight, out of mind. Right? When you're there, it's so like, this answer must come. This answer, without which the whole world will collapse. Right? And then out of sight, out of mind, the world is intact. And you also forgot the question. Right? Later on, you ask a very interesting question, he or she forgot the question. You're getting it? Which means you are not too serious. You are intelligent, but not serious. Serious people, they ask a question, they will also remember these questions. And then they will look for, not just immediate cure, look for where I can get these answers. You will inquire among yourselves. So I have these questions, where should I go? And then you, oftentimes more than the person who teaches you, you will get answers from the people. You will also be able to track the sources from where you can get answers. Okay, questions are very good. In case, if I don't get time to go through these questions, keep in mind that particularly I would say the Nalan Development course, this is very relevant, and it's 1 year course, and you will see that your questions will be, invariably will be answered along the 1 year course. Okay. Okay, first we will continue from where we left yesterday. What did we do yesterday? Which step? 7 done? 7 not done. What is the 7? Which step? Okay, step 7, which is? A special recollection of the kindness of others. Okay. And this is extremely important. And if you have this, this makes the bodhicitta very uniquely compassionate. This is what I often call as, until we practice the bodhicitta very systematically, even though you are generally very compassionate, doesn't mean that if bodhicitta, it's very different. The compassion that one feels through this systematic practice is very different. Okay, then you will see that oftentimes in the family, family issues, brothers, sisters, then the parents, children, it's not that there is a fault of the other person. It's not a fault of the parents. it's not the fault of the children also. So simply because that this feeling of love and affection, you are not able to see this in the light of you as the mother and all others as your very small, vulnerable young children. Vulnerable young child, age 4, 5, 6, so vulnerable. So there, whatever bad the child tells the mother, the child may abuse the mother, verbally, but the mother will see this as, he or she deserves my compassion. So love, affection, particularly, it more forcefully goes towards the child, seeing the child is so vulnerable. And this is the feeling that you will get when you practice bodhicitta. So without the bodhicitta practice, although you have the feeling of affection, but then when you see something, other person says something nasty, you become very angry. You say something very nasty, other person very angry, and at the same time you expect, the other person should not be angry. Why he's not talking to me? Why she's not talking to me? What is this? It's all you have created it. Right? How can you say, once you say something nasty to the other person, how can you expect the other person to speak nicely to you? Unless the person is a highly advanced bodhisattvas. Okay, so that way, this is a very unique practice, the special recollection of the kindness of others. So we see that all the beings. Our job is to see how our love and affection flows towards all the beings. And all the beings, who are all the beings? Okay, although we don't identify this or that, but we do know we can use intelligence to group all these beings into 3 categories: the near and dear ones, the neutral beings, and the difficult people. And you can't imagine anybody who doesn't fall under one of these 3 groups. You agree? This is what we did yesterday. The next is that how we cultivate this, let our compassion flow towards the beings. We said when you look around, you see that what is so commonly seen, so intensely, the affectionate, love and affection, very intense, strong, and yet so commonly available, is the mother and the child, particularly young, vulnerable child. So how does the mother develop the love? It's very spontaneous. Spontaneous meaning, day when the child is born, the mother loves, generally speaking. Whereas this child, it took like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to develop this intense love. So how does the child develop this love? You look at it, as they say, in fact, you see that many of the intelligence, many of the very creative things, like aeroplane flying in the air, right? Aeroplane flying in the air. How come that somebody got this idea, right? Intelligent people, it's not that some ideas came from somewhere. They looked at examples around. They saw the birds, how the birds flew, how the birds fly, right? The wings. What does the wing do? These wings, what do? They lift up the object, right? The bird up. So what is the mechanism? So that gave more thought to this, and then they create a wing. And then this is how gradually the aeroplane developed. So by seeing examples, likewise unconditional love for all the beings. Even this we can cultivate through examples. You see what is available in the world. 1, very intense love. Number 2, gradually developed. There is the child's love towards the parents. And the question is, how does this child develop this love? It is like me not loving all the sentient beings at the moment, right? And how this child does not love not loving the mother, and eventually within a span of 3, 4, 5 years, the child loves intensely to the mother. What's the mechanism? So what we learned is that what is the reason that triggered this immense, intense love in the child's mind within the span of 3, 4, 5 years? Seeing the mother as a source of benefit. You're getting it? Seeing the mother as a source of benefit. Okay. So, if this is a case, oh, now can I see the benefit that I receive from the near and dear ones? Yes, that's obvious. Neutral beings, difficult person. If I can think of that, then my mind will automatically flow the way the child's mind flows towards the mother, seeing the mother as the beneficial. Yes, that's true. What kind of benefits are there? Is it possible? Don't say no. Don't say yes. Don't reject it directly. Don't accept it easily. You getting it? Don't be influenced easily by somebody telling you. Just don't reject easily. Don't accept easily. Okay. What has to be offered by the great masters like Buddha Shakyamuni, Arya Nagarjuna, Bodhisattva Shantideva? What do they have to offer? What kind of insights do they have to offer to us? So we see that the benefit there too. What are they? Lasting benefit and short-term benefit, long-term benefit, short-term benefit. Two benefits are there. And long-term benefit, nirvana, Buddhahood, technically speaking. And short-term benefit, again there are two. Small-scale short-term benefit and large-scale short-term benefit too. So total there are three benefits, three kinds of benefit. Small-scale short-term benefit, large-scale short-term benefit, and long-term benefit. Three benefits are there. And three beings are there. Three beings are there. Near and dear ones, neutral beings, and the difficult people. Okay, so is it by chance or there is some correlation happening? This is what we need to explore. Exploring this, we see that the what? We start from the, okay, tell me, if you were to grade these, the three versions of the benefit, which is the one which you would cherish the most? Long-term benefit. Second? Large-scale short-term benefit. You're getting it? Then third one? Okay, don't forget it. Don't forget what he said. So if you grade it, the first is the long-term benefit, nirvana, Buddhahood, and the next is large-scale short. Three people who are able to give these three benefits to you. Let's say that, say A gives you the small-scale short-term benefit. B gives you the large-scale short-term benefit. C gives you the long-term benefit. Right? Small-scale short-term, large-scale short-term, and long-term benefit. Three, A, B, C. So whom, if you come to know that, okay, these are three beings who give me these three benefits, who do you think you will feel your mind to go most close? ABC. ABC, you forgot ABC. What is A, what is B, what is C? I said A is the one who gave you the small scale short term benefit. B, one who gave you the large scale short term benefit. And C gave you the long term benefit. Okay, tell me, ABC, how would you grade? Who is the one to whom your mind flows most intensely? C. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. And next? B. Next? A. Okay. So to your amazement, you will say that A, who's A? Who gives you this small scale short-term benefit? Who's B? Who gives you large scale short-term benefit? And who's C? Who gives you the long-term benefit? You are getting, and you said who's the kindest? The one who gives you the C. C. Okay. To your surprise, to your amazement, you'll see that your near and dear ones, like your mother, father, brothers, they all fall in the category of A, not C. And the neutral beings are B. And the most difficult people, they are the C. So from this, you see that your love and affection will feel the most intense towards the C. The, who is that? Difficult people. You're getting it? You will realize this. This is amazing. This is what, in the ordinary context, we can't even imagine that this can possibly be the case. And reality is that this is what it is. So with this, then you see that your mind feels closest towards the most difficult people. Right? Then you have no enemies. The more the person creates difficult problem, you are even happier that this is a person who belongs to category C. I have many people in C. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you will see here. Right? Okay. So let's see how. Now the next is how. How the near and dear ones is the A, how the neutral beings is the B, and how the different people are the C. How? Okay, very quick. The first near and dear ones is very easy because the small scale short term benefit constitutes like food, clothing, chocolates, birthday party, and then say the holidays. These are small scale benefits. These are all given by your near and dear ones. Neutral people will not give you even a chocolate. You're getting it? Only the near and dear ones they belong to C, because this is something which conventionally we say that, oh, I feel close to this person, because this is what you can feel very easily. This is what conventionally is accepted as the near and dear one, someone who gives you what is conventionally known as benefit. This is actually the small scale benefit. Okay, now the large scale benefit, the large scale short term benefits. For example, let's say that okay, how many came by flight? Raise hands. How many came by train? Raise hands. How many came by cars? Okay, mostly the train and the aeroplane. Okay, and just see that. Just think of this. Think of this. Say aeroplane or train. Back in, say, 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 3,000 years, there were kings and queens who possessed all the wealth, whole wealth of the whole nation, whole kingdom. Yet they did not have the privilege of riding aeroplanes. No privilege going by train, right? At the most, they have to go by horse, or chariot, or you call it palanquin, right? Like this. That's it. Which is more comfortable? Like this, or aeroplane? And like this, 2,000 kilometers, 3,000 kilometers, like this, impossible. Impossible, right? And then so these aeroplanes, you get it very cheap, and they have the whole wealth of the whole kingdom. They cannot have the privilege of using this. And how come that you get this aeroplane? How come that you get this aeroplane very cheap? How come? Tell me. Anyone? Huh? Huh?
Large scale. Short-term large scale.
No. So how come that you are able to get this, the aeroplane, yet even the kings and queens, they do not have the privilege of using this aeroplane? What is the difference? Chanjula?
Millions and millions of strangers who have contributed to building, designing, manning, womaning.
Exactly. So many people invested on this. Nowadays, it's the investment. The companies, it's not that one person owns everything. It's the investment. So one person maybe the major shareholder, and there are so many other people who invest on this. And then with this, it came to being. And also that you require somebody with a brilliance, intelligence to design this. And this intelligence was not suddenly somebody came. It was gradually developed. Centuries and centuries, it took centuries to develop this level of the sophistication. And then it's made of metals. It's made of all these materials like plastic, the metals. And then the metals come from where? Metals come from mines. And then the plastics come from petroleum. You're getting it? Petroleum. And while extracting the petroleum, how many people died? while mining, how many people died. And this, what is mined, has to come to the factory. So they have to come by the road. And who created the road? Again, people. And for example, Delhi is 47 degrees centigrade. And they say these workers, under 47 degrees centigrade, they're working. They're working, constructing. And we, even under AC, you still feel sweaty. And these people, how many people died in the first place in the mining, the collapse of the mines? How many people died? And they have their own children. Where are the children? And so most of, nowadays people have the, what do you call as the babysitters. For them, where's the babysitters? No babysitters. These children, they have to stay under the 47 degrees centigrade. How many children died? Just think of back in time, what is today available as, the privileges. These are at the cost of so many lives. So many hands involved and so many lives involved. So think of these people. Do you know these people? We don't know these people. We don't know these people. These are neutral people. It's because of the contribution of these neutral people that we now have the privilege of going by aeroplane. Kamala. We have the privilege of these. So with this neutral, the kindness of neutral beings, that we're able to have this large scale short-term benefits. You're getting it? And also, this is very interesting. For example, like the pen that you are saying, how costly is that? Huh? Pre-rug? Just raise your pen. How costly is that? 20 rupees is like 10 cents. 10 US cents, US 10 cents. 20 rupees. Huh? 30 cents. Let's say 30 cents or 20 rupees. Right? Let us think of this very seriously. Finally, right? It's not that we have to all these extra things. No, it's for your own benefit, for you to feel the expansion of the joy, happiness, infinite happiness. For this, the only secret lies in cultivating this unconditional love towards the beings. And for this, these are the only tips, and they are very effective. Okay, let's say the pen. Raise your hands. The pen that you use, raise your hands. Raise hands, raise hands. Yeah, I just put it. What's the cost of your pen? Approximately? Huh? $1. 10 rupees. 10 rupees is like 10 cents, right? US 10 cents. Okay. So we see that, and then you call these pens as use and throw, right? Toss it. Once the refill finishes, you toss it. Believe it or not, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, even the kings and the queens, they did not have the privilege of using these pens. You agree or not agree? Yes. They use what? They use feather. You're getting it? They use the feather. And the feather, you have to dip in the ink pot so often. And what you write is not evenly coming out. You're getting it? Not evenly coming out. So, which is better, this pen or the feather? If I tell you that use the feather, you say no human rights, right? But in those days, this is only choice. Just imagine if they have this pen in those days, this pen will directly go into their treasure house. This is going to be the pride of the kingdom. You're getting it? And how come that you get this very cheap? Tell me. If your mother is to make this just for you, customized just for you, it has metal, it has plastics. Again, the metal, extracting the mines, the mine ores, the metal ores, and then the plastics from the petroleum. It involves billions of dollars. If your mother has to make this just for you, the mother has to invest minimum this amount of the this amount. And then where the cost is so heavy, it costs the lives, human lives. And poor children, they have to come by the road, factories, and the road, how many people died there while making the road under the scorching sun. So think of this, how come that you get it very cheap? Tell me. Otherwise, if your mother is to make this just for you, it minimum cost billions of dollars. For you, it's just like 10 rupees. How come that you get very cheap? Tell me. Anyone? Yes.
The cost gets divided among many people.
Good. Anyone else? Yes, education wala? Yes. Yes, Navia? Yes, the education wala? Large scale production, right? Large scale production. What do you mean by large scale production? Navia?
Large scale production, basically you have millions of units of the same thing produced, but there's also demand. You're not producing
So it is demand. What do you mean by demand? Demand by whom?
demand by the consumers, basically.
Consumers. One consumer is fine. How many consumers?
For economics of scale to bring it down to 10 rupees per person, it should be
So in other words, to make it, don't make it complicated. Make it very simple. Say that innumerable the customers, right? You're getting it? Because of these innumerable customers, the cost is divided. So it becomes very less, as Isra said. The cost is divided, it becomes very less. So it just costs like 10 rupees, right? Even the kings and the queens in the past, they did not have the privilege to use this pen. And you have the privilege to use the pen. It's all because of the large scale production. Because all these number of the people involved in buying the same object. And do you know these people? It's because of these innumerable thousands and thousands of people that you're able to get this very cheap. And do you know these people? These are neutral people. Because of the neutral people that you get this opportunity to use this, the privilege to use this, which even the kings and queens did not have. Okay. Also think of just everything. You can think of everything. Like this fan. How many of you use fans or the AC, heating system, cooling system? Raise hands. Okay, let's say this fan, let's say. The fan that you use, the fan in those days, right? The kings and queens, did they have fans or not? No? Yes? Do they have or not have? They have the human fans. They have the human fans. You're getting it? Which is more effective, human fan or this fan? Human fan can collapse, right? After doing like this, it may fall asleep. This never falls asleep, right? And it will not collapse. And if human fan, you have to feed with, right? And the human fan is also watching you. What are you doing? Right? And this will not watch you. This will not watch you. That's amazing. You have freedom, and it's so effective. In those days, the kings and queens, if they come to hear about this, they'll be so happy to pay like gold, silver, whatever, diamond to get this. Yet they didn't have the opportunity. They only have the maximum human fan. Who are actually watching you? What are you doing? Right. So we see that, wow, this is amazing. And if you to really make it, just this, it goes billions of dollars and you get it very cheap. It's all because of the mass production. You're getting it? And these people involved. And do you know that we are close to the border? Do you know that we are close to the border, CCP border? You know that? And yet you're not scared. We're all relaxed. Okay, you're planning for when is my flight, tomorrow, today. You don't feel the fear, the threat of the intrusion from the other side. What makes you feel so relaxed? Anyone? Because of the border army soldiers there. They are protecting us. Do you know these people? You don't know these people. You're getting it? And how come that they volunteer to protect you? Or how come that they end up there? Because Because there's a system known as a government. You get it? What do you mean by government? Government is possible only if there is a huge amount of people involved. All the people of of this country, they contributed to make the government, to have the government possible. With the government, then all these basic infrastructures are all created, they come into being. And do you know all these people who are involved in creating this government? No, we don't know these people, right? And that these people are neutral people. And also, let's also think of, say you go to a new place, and there are, let's say, 2 hotels, 2 restaurants, one which is very busy and one which is very clean, tidy, nobody going there, very quiet, with music on. If you are a stranger, which of the 2 restaurants you'll go to? Crowded one or the very clean, tidy, nobody going there, very peaceful with the music on? Which of the 2 restaurants will you go? Crowded one? No, the other one's very peaceful. There's music there. So peaceful, very clean, quiet, by yourself, whole space is yours. Why don't you go there? Because why people are not going there, there must be a reason there. And for you to know which is the right restaurant, for you to know it's very difficult, right? And these people who are just rushing into the same restaurant, crowded, right? So these people are telling you that, don't go there, come to this place, this is safe. You're getting it? So you are given safety because of these people. Do you know these people? Do you know these people? You don't know these people. You're getting it? These are neutral people. They give you all this security. We take for granted. All these benefits we take for granted, right? And do you know the VIPs, they have the security guards? VVIP people, they have the security guards. Security people, secure persons, bodyguards are there. And some of you may be envious of them. Wow, I also wish that I have the security guards coming with me, right? Actually, how many of you are scared of being in root institute? That anybody can drop me, anybody can, How many of you are scared? You're not scared. And if you're alone in root institute, if you're alone, right, where everything is empty, quiet, will you be scared or very happy? Oh, now the whole root institute is mine. What will you think? Huh? Very scared. You're getting it? So, once I asked this question to the very recent Bodhicitta retreat in Tasamling Nunnery in Dharamsala, I said that imagine that you are going on a train and there are 2 compartments, one which is totally empty and other which is so crowded, and which do you think you will choose? And some said that I'll go to the empty one, which means you have no experience, right? Immediately after the class, there's one girl who told me that, Geshe-la, example that you gave is actually what happened to me. This is what she said. How? She said that, going to the train, some compartments are very busy, crowded, chaotic, noisy. I don't want that. I want to. So because of this, she purchased what do you call it? AC, first class, 1 tier, what do you call it? First class. She got the first class in order to avoid the crowd. She got it. And finally she entered in one compartment where she was the only person there. And she said that literally she started to tremble. It's totally empty and anybody can come anytime, rock, kill, whatever. She said that literally she could not have sleep that night. So she bought the ticket there to avoid the crowd. Then she regretted. The next time she saw the crowd, she was so happy. These are my security guards. You're getting it? Okay. So think very seriously. It's amazing. It's just a change of the cognitive thought process. And then your whole perspective of the world will change. You become a very happy person. You're getting it? Okay, for this I like to introduce to you what is known as how the transformation, how to bring about transformation of your mind. For example, all this is where we are very selfish, you know. Same, somebody gives you, okay, we are very selfish. To be very honest, very selfish. Now, being selfish is fine. So sometimes this is where we are going wrong. Oh, you're very selfish. You should be kind to others. And if you ask, why kind to others? That is very selfish. Right? That is very selfish. No, don't force yourself to be kind towards others. Right? In fact, it must be skillfully be driven towards being kind towards others. So how? This is the beauty of the teachings of Buddha. Where, say, you learn the skills whereby earlier, otherwise the person who was very selfish will naturally, gently, gradually transform into somebody who is very compassionate, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama. How to bring about this transformation? So this is on the basis of knowing that someone who is very selfish, someone who is very kind, these are all mental states. You agree with me or not? Mental states. And keep in mind that all mental states should necessarily be dependently originated. Okay, let's say that let's say that how the mind works to become selfish, how the mind works to become very kind. Let's work on this. For this we have to see the mechanism or the map of the mind. The map of the mind. Sometimes I'm very curious. Say, for a car to move, it requires a lot of, the small parts, the engine, and the engine with all these small parts, innumerable small parts are combined together, then it works as one unit, as an engine, right? And without these, the car cannot move. And I'm so curious. Sometimes I see extremely tiny insects, extremely tiny, which my eyes could hardly see. And yet you see it's moving, so effectively it's moving, right? And you try to stop it, it pretends as though like it is dead. What is governing this movement? What is governing that? When you stop it, it pretends as though it is dead. Now, all these very nuanced, the mental cognitive thought processes involved in this tiny, very, very, very tiny insect, which means that all these, the brain parts, whatever, the nervous system, they're all there in this tiny, very tiny insect there. So if this is the case, then to be compassionate, to be selfish, also it is happening within your mind. So what is the map of the mind? We need to know the map of the mind. For this, given that we don't have much time, I'd like to quickly go through what is known as the 5 functions of the mind. 5 functions of mind, known as the 5 omnipresent mental factors. 5 omnipresent or 5 ever-present mental factors. Okay, so what are they? Number 1, contact, attention. Contact, attention, discrimination, feeling, and intention. Okay, what are they? Contact, attention, discrimination, feeling, intention. This is so important. We have to know this. Once you see your mind in these 5 functions, then you can see that how to change your, how to change your mind from being agitated to a very peaceful mind, from very selfish to a very compassionate person, from very ignorant to a very wise person. How to change it? Okay, let's say that, that when one is selfish, you easily get agitated, irritated. You become so irritable. You agree? Where you are more, concerned about others, more loving, more kind, more considerate, your agitation much less. Generally speaking, is much less. So what is really happening is that, let's see how the mind works. So you are, you are in your bed sleeping, and usually you get up, let's say like 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. in the morning. And then one day at 6 o'clock, your mother opens the door and said, "Good morning, my daughter, good morning, my son." And you feel so, what is it? It's so disturbing. You know, why in the middle? Why? It's so unusual. And the mother said, "Happy birthday," right? And you are in the deep sleep. Suddenly you are disturbed, and then what? You are still half in the sleep and half woken up, and you see mother saying, "Happy birthday," and she's holding something, right? Half sleep means your eyes are still very hazy, right? Very hazy. So you don't see what is really in the mother's hand. So what will you do? You will rub your eyes. Why are you rubbing your eyes? Okay, first your eyes your eyes come in contact with what the mother is holding, contact. Then you are not seeing too clearly. Then what do? You rub your eyes. Why are you rubbing your eyes? To pay attention. To pay attention. Number 2. Paying attention, you discovered that what the mother is holding is brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max. Let me say this again. Rubbing your eyes, paying attention, you get the discrimination that what the mother is holding is brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max, right? So this is discrimination. Number 3. With this discrimination, what's the feeling? Very pleasant feeling comes, right? Feeling. Do you like the pleasant feeling or not pleasant feeling? You like it or you don't like it? You like it. You like this pleasant feeling. And what triggered this pleasant feeling? Brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max. That triggered the pleasant feeling. So because you want to sustain it, you have to sustain that. Sustain that. What triggered this pleasant feeling? You have to sustain this pleasant feeling, you have to sustain what triggered it. So how to sustain it? You go to grab it and keep it yourself, right? Go to grab it. So what made you go to grab it? Intention. Intention to possess it. You're getting it? So with a pleasant feeling, then the intention is moved in one way. Whereas this is, okay. So sometimes, the mothers, they love so much, and the mother think that anything will make the child happy. And early morning, 6 o'clock, you wake up the child and says, "Good morning, my daughter, good morning, my son," and show something. And then you came in contact, number 1, contact with the object, the mother holding. Then number 2, what is that? You rub your eyes to pay attention. Paying attention, you say, "It's just a piece of chocolate." Just a piece of chocolate, you can get any time. Why should you have to come at 6 o'clock to disturb you the next, 2 hours of sleep? Then what happens? Discrimination, you realize it's just a piece of chocolate, right? And what's the feeling? Very unpleasant feeling comes to you. What triggers this unpleasant feeling? That chocolate at the wrong hour. In my deep sleep, in my the time of most pleasant sleep, this chocolate came. This chocolate is one. So what do? You will try to push the chocolate because you don't want the unpleasant feeling. What triggers the unpleasant feeling? The chocolate at the wrong time, right? You want to push this. How to push it? Scold the mother. Take it back. Don't disturb me. Right? So when I say, "Don't disturb me," are you happy or not happy? You are not happy. This is known as agitation. So this agitation is the movement of the mind, involuntary movement of mind to push the object away. And this why this involuntary movement of mind came in the form of agitation, because of the unpleasant feeling. Why this unpleasant feeling came? Because of the discrimination, cognitive thinking that it is the chocolate which came at the wrong time, right? Discrimination. So this discrimination is responsible for giving rise to unpleasant feeling. This unpleasant feeling is responsible for you to have the mental movement, intention, to make the mind to move, to reject this object. That is known as agitation. And this agitation, it lasts for, if it is intense, it is anxiety. It is known as anxiety. And if it is prolonged, it is known as depression. You're getting it? This is how our mental agitations arise, the mechanism of how the agitation arises. and how to get rid of this. If you don't want this agitation, what should you do? Ye dharma hetu prabhava. All these phenomena arise in the causes. You have to tackle the cause. So if you don't want this agitation, what should you do? What's the cause? Agitation is of the five, the number five. Number five is the intention to reject the object. That gives you the agitation. So if you don't want this agitation, then you have to change the intention. How to change the intention? By changing the feeling. From unpleasant feeling to the pleasant feeling. How to change it? The feeling is determined by the discrimination. Change the discrimination. You are getting it? How you change discrimination? This is where you need extensive knowledge. How to change the discrimination. You are getting it? For example, let's say that you're in a deep sleep and the mother wakes you up, and then the mother shows you, and then you come to this piece of chocolate and it's the wrong time, but you can see the same object in different ways. You can see the same object in different ways. Oh, my mom, my mom, she loves me so much. Look, who will do this? Somebody who, who brings a chocolate for you. It's all out of love and affection that he's doing. So it's out of my mother's love for me, right? I'm so lucky that there's somebody who I can call as a mother. Look at Dorji Damdul, Dorji, right? Even though he always talks about mother, yet he did not have a mother to call somebody as a mother. You're getting it? He craves to see somebody as his mother. And yet I have you as my mother. I'm so lucky. Thank you so much. The first thing that I see is the mother. I'm so lucky. Discrimination. That I'm so lucky. You are my mother, and the person who I love the most comes right in the morning. Right? The first person that I met is the one who loved me so much. Thank you so much for being there. So you change this discrimination. If your thing is broad, you don't take for granted the many good things. For example, to have the mother, somebody else coming there with the tea, with the chocolate, old lady, actually usual one to say, happy birthday, my mom. Or, it's my birthday today, mom, please, this is my present for you. You should be saying this, now the mother is telling you, you should feel so grateful. So this change in discrimination, what feeling will you get when you say that I'm so lucky that my mother, the person who loves me the most, that person is the one that I'm seeing right. The first sight that I have after waking up is my mother. When you think like this, what's the feeling like? Pleasant, not unpleasant. You're getting it? Very pleasant. And then the mother is, who will be, just imagine a neighbor, does he or she will bring a chocolate on a birthday? Very unlikely. Very unlikely. You're getting it? If somebody brings that, except for ulterior motives, otherwise it's all coming out of love. Appreciate this love. This is so precious. Wow. I can feel the love from my mother. When you say, I can feel the love from my mother, does it give a pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling? Very pleasant feeling. Very pleasant feeling. You're getting it? Very pleasant feeling. So the pleasant feeling you want or you not want it? You want it. But to get this pleasant feeling, because the mother, so you want the mother not to go out, right? Then you will hug the mother. It's beautiful because you want her. So this intention to sustain this pleasant feeling, this intention, knowing that this feeling is coming from the mother, so to sustain that, you embrace the mother, right? Embrace the mother. So this is where the agitation subsides. So this is how we use this knowledge of the map of the mind, helps you to bring about transformation in the mind, right? Somebody who's very selfish can be transformed into somebody who's very kind. Somebody who's very ignorant can be transformed into somebody who's very wise, right? One time, in I think last year or 2 years ago, during the COVID time, the Italian group where I always go to give teachings there, they requested me to give online teaching because of the COVID. I couldn't go there. And at the end of the talk, one lady raised her hand asking me that, oh, Geshe, you talked about compassion, so this is so good, but how do you apply this in real life? And I said, what do you mean by real life? And she said, in reality, we are under a strict lockdown, and we can all at the most go on the terrace. And from the terrace, when you look down, I see the whole street so gloomy, empty, which otherwise used to be a very busy street, very lively, and it's so gloomy to see this. So how can you apply your teaching on this situation? Then I said, are you sure the street is empty? She said, yes, it's very gloomy, empty, so quiet. I said, if I were you, I'll be so happy, right? She said, how? You're so lucky the street is very empty. She said, how? Because street empty means if the street is full, crowded, COVID will spread wildly and you can easily be affected by the COVID. More the people roam around, more the likelihood that you will contract COVID. So in a way, the people, you should be so feeling grateful to all these people who are not coming on the street. In a way, they are telling you that, hey, Dorji, rest assured that you are safe. We will not bring COVID to you, right? If you don't believe, look at the street, it's empty. We are not there on the street. You should be feeling grateful to all the people who abide by the rule that not coming on the street, not spreading the COVID. You should be feeling so grateful to them. Otherwise, what? I have no freedom, I cannot go out. What? You want freedom? What, you want freedom or you want to die? Right? You want freedom or you want to die? This is the point. So, choose. Right? Not having freedom at house, street empty, or with freedom and you die. Which is better? Always stay safe. This is better. And then the lady said, oh, that's a very different way of looking at it. Okay, look. Now look at the difference. Say, the lady was initially so unhappy. So unhappy. Right? Unhappy means agitation is there, mental intellectual agitation. This is agitation because of the unpleasant feeling. Unpleasant feeling because of the cognitive thought process. What's cognitive thought process? That the street is empty. It used to be very lively. Now it's empty, gloomy, I cannot go out. This is a cognitive thought process. When it said it's gloomy, I cannot go out, and the street is very empty, quiet. When you describe, cognitively, when you describe the street like this, what feeling would you expect? Pleasant, unpleasant? Unpleasant feeling. Do you want this? You don't want this. You don't want this. Because you don't want this, you try to get away from this unpleasant feeling. And your mind forces yourself, the intention forces yourself to run away from it. But because you cannot run it, it is like, say, somebody grabs you, a strong person grabs you, and you try to run away, the person doesn't release you. So what happens? There's a friction happening. This is agitation. So the agitation is because of the unpleasant feeling. Unpleasant feeling because of a set of cognitive thought process. So if you don't want this agitation, change the unpleasant feeling to pleasant feeling. If you don't want unpleasant feeling, you want to change the pleasant feeling, you have to change the discrimination. So to change the discrimination, it is a cognitive thought process. Discrimination is a cognitive thought process. You have to change the cognitive thought process to see things from a different perspective, right? Okay. Okay, so with this, the point is that this is how we bring about change. So when we say that, okay, neutral people, right, or the difficult people, this is our attitude, and it disturbs our mind, and say we have a biased attitude. So the point is that with the neutral beings, you see that, wow, they are so kind in so many ways, which even my mother cannot give such privilege. These neutral beings, they are the ones who give me the privilege. For example, it's a party joke, it's a party reality. For example, say as I said earlier, you in the crowded metro or crowded train versus say the very empty train where the compartment is empty and you are just alone there, is very scary there. So when you're in a crowded train, you are at ease. To get this ease, VVIP people, to get this ease, they have to keep the security guards. Otherwise, they feel the threat from anybody. So for you, without security guards, you have this. You're getting it? And what, by the way, what makes you feel so confident that nobody is going to, do anything wrong amidst other people? Generally speaking, it doesn't happen. So what makes you so confident? Because of these people around. You're getting it? If these people are not there, for sure you have to live in fear. Do you agree with me? Okay, so these people are your bodyguards. These people are your bodyguards. To be very honest, only when you realize that you are in a situation where you are by yourself, then you start to feel the fear that anybody can come and attack me. Then you will realize to see somebody else there, you feel so relaxed, so much at ease. You're getting it? So what gives you this ease? Because of the presence of other people. You're getting it? So these people do the same work what the bodyguard does for a VVI person. You're getting it? And for you, these are literally your bodyguards. And yet you don't have to pay them, it's for free. VVIP, they have to pay, right? And the bodyguards of VVIP, they even chase you in the toilets. Bodyguards of the VVIP, yes. Right? Whereas in your case, you go to your private room, right? They will leave you they'll give you total freedom, right? And then you don't have to feed them, they'll feed by themselves. Whereas the VVIP, you have to feed them. You're getting, that's amazing. It's a party job, this is a reality, right? We take for granted all these benefits that we get from the neutral people. Do you know these people? We don't know these people. These are neutral people who give you such a sense of security, right? Say if you are in a state of there's so much fear, and somebody tells you, don't worry, I'll get rid of all this fear. If you really feel the fear, if you could feel the weight of this fear, I'll get rid of this fear, and how much you want to give me? Okay, I give you 1,000 rupees. No, that's too less. Then you will be happy to give everything to get this sense of security. Without the security, what's the point of all this money that you have? Somebody kills you, finish, right? So that you'll be happy to give away everything. You're getting it? And yet, to be very honest, how we get this sense of security is because of the people around you. You don't know them. It's because of them that you're getting this security. These are the neutral people. And this kind of security, even your mother cannot give. Your father cannot give. So near and dear ones cannot give. These are only neutral people can give. You're getting it? These are the things. If you reflect more, there are millions of things that will make you joyful and happy, right? And be grateful too. Okay, since we have not much time, I'll go to next. What is next? Difficult people. How to feel the difficult people as the source of benefit for you. Okay, this is very important. Okay, this is so important. Let's say that okay, how many of you know Muhammad Ali? How many of you know Muhammad Ali? Raise hands. Okay, who is Muhammad Ali? Don't say boxer, legendary boxer. Right, a legendary boxer. Okay, say if you are, just imagine, if you're a boxer, would you want to become an average boxer or a legendary boxer? Be very honest. A legendary boxer. If you want to be a legendary boxer, don't expect to become a legendary boxer if your mother is your coach. If your mother is coach, you cannot be, there's no way by which you can become the legendary boxer. Because your mother will never give you a hard punch. Kamalji will never give a hard punch to Kabirji. Right? He will never get a hard punch. Without getting the hard punch, you will never learn how to stop this. You will never learn how to stop these hard punches. You're getting it? So, who made you a legendary boxer? Somebody who gives you hard punches. You're getting it? Only these people will make you legendary boxers. So, say, after the retreat, some of you this evening, some of you tomorrow, you go back home, Dr. Tina, go back home, right? And then the Dr. Tina goes with, not only everyone, you go to your respective homes with so much of joy, glow, and then your mother says, Oh, my daughter, my son, you'll have a cup of tea. Oh, mom, no, please sit. I'll serve you tea. What will I have? Tea, coffee, juice, what will I have? What's this? She never offers this. All these years, it never happened. Actually, it's the thing with Chelsea. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah, that's 100%. 100%. It never happened. What happened? This is magic, right? Mother could not believe her eyes and ears, right? And then, Mom, what will I have? Please sit. You give her a hug and please sit. Coffee, tea, juice, water, what? Right? Mother is just dumbfounded. What is this? It never happened before, right? It's amazing. And then what mother said, okay, for me, a chamomile tea is good. And then you serve chamomile tea. And then said, Mom, how are you? Wow, you look so happy. What did you do? What, you went to something, Rat Institute, something, Rat or Root, something? Oh, yeah. What was happening there? BODHICITTA. Oh, it must be so good. Yeah, it's so good, right? You look so changed, you're amazing. There must be. So next time you go, I'll also come with you, right? Actually, mother is not interested. Just to just to open the conversation, because she feels so happy. All these like 20, 30, 40 years, she never experienced this. Today, she has experienced it. She's so happy, right? So she simply wants to continue the conversation because the feeling is pleasant. She wants to sustain this. And what is that? Oh, there's one Geshe-la, and the mother would say, Gashala, right? She does not know. Oh, no, it's not Gashala, it's Geshe-la, right? Oh, Geshe-la, right? It must be so good. Yes, it's so good. You look very changed, that's amazing. You have become so kind, amazing, right? And then your neighbor comes, knock at the door, and said that, and you open, hi, may I help you? What help you? You throw garbage next to my door, right? No, I just came. Just you came and the garbage came, right? No, I'm serious, right? I'm serious. No. I will take you to I'll create I'll suit a long case, right? And then, okay, in your mind, okay, enough is enough. But no, BODHICITTA, right? BODHICITTA retreat. Oh, no, I'm very serious. Please calm down. No, what calm down? Take this garbage out, take this in your house, or I will sue you, right? And then, hey, mind your business. Enough is enough, right? Prove that I brought it. Prove. I will sue you, right? Okay, look. Your mother could not identify this self-centered attitude within you, anger within you. Your mother thought that you are already divine, transformed. And this enemy is able to tell you that there's something, you have a disease there, you have an illness there, right? The gross illness is gone, but subtle illness is still there, right? For example, how many go for medical checkup, annual medical checkup? Reasons? Okay, what for do you go for? Do you go there because you have a problem? No. What for you go there?
Prevention.
Ajikibala? To check if there's anything wrong with you, because you don't know what's wrong with you, or is very fine, or there's something wrong. The doctors know. So for the doctor, requesting the doctors to check if there's something wrong in your physical body. So you pay money to the doctor. Please take this money and see if something's wrong with me. And your neighbor, he's actually checking what's wrong with your mind. And this is for free. He doesn't charge you anything. It is more difficult to diagnose than the physical problems. Physical problems are visible, but the mental is not visible. He is able to identify that. Without identifying these problems in you, these mental defilements within you, there's no way by which you can remove these mental defilements. Without removing the mental defilements, your seed of perfection inside cannot manifest. You cannot become the enlightened one. Without this, you cannot experience the infinite happiness and the total fearlessness. In other words, to attain what you seek, total fearlessness and infinite happiness, there must be the support of somebody to help you identify the subtlest of the mental defilements which block you from experiencing total fearlessness, infinite happiness. And who is that? Only the difficult people. So from this we can see that only the difficult people are the ones who can give you the infinite happiness and fearlessness. So therefore, difficult people are the ones who give you the maximum, the most important benefit for you. Therefore, when you realize this, your mind will invariably flow towards the difficult people in the most intense form. This is what is known as your mind flows towards the, you feel the love and affection most intensely towards the difficult people. So from this we see that your mind flows towards your near and dear ones on the basis of what? What benefit did you get from them? The small scale, short-term benefits. And your mind flows too strongly towards the neutral beings for them giving what benefit? Large-scale, short-term benefits. And your mind flows most intensely towards the difficult people because for them giving you the benefit, what benefit? Long-lasting or the ultimate benefit. So therefore your mind flows more strongly towards the difficult people. So now you see that your mind flows to all the infinite beings. Infinite beings. So this is known as the infinite compassion. So this infinite compassion multiplied by infinity, this is known as the infinite compassion. With accompanying one moment of compassion is the degree of fearlessness and degree of happiness. This happiness multiplied by infinity is infinite happiness. You're getting it? This is how we attain infinite happiness. And what we are seeking, whether you're a believer or non-believer, whether you're a boy or whether you're male or female, whether educated or uneducated, whether Eastern or Western, everybody is seeking fearlessness or to avoid miseries and to have the maximum happiness. And for the maximum happiness, the secret of the maximum happiness is the infinite compassion. So this is how, and this does not require somebody to force you. It is only through contemplation to bring about change in your cognitive thought process. Wow, the difficult people, they are so kind to me in ways of them giving me the maximum benefit. This cognitive thought process, the feeling is pleasant, unpleasant. It's profoundly pleasant. This feeling is profoundly pleasant. You want it. Because you want it, right? You want to embrace the trigger of this pleasant feeling. What is the trigger? The difficult people. So your intention will embrace the difficult people, will not reject. This embrace is known as loving the difficult people. You're getting it? So that keeps your mind very calm and peaceful. And in fact, more calm than when you meet with somebody who conventionally we call as somebody loving and caring. More calm and more, the word that I would use is more than more calm, I would say that profoundly calm mental state. Okay, so with this what happens is that this is what is known as the special recollection of the kindness of others. This is what ordinary people, they cannot imagine. And yet this is something doable, not only doable, it's extremely wise. Okay, so what is next? Altruism. You're getting it? Okay, now that your mind flows so freely with so much love towards all the beings, what is your reaction? If you see that if the mother sees a child to whom the mother loves so much, if this child is sick, what is the mother's reaction? May you be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. And where the mother sees the child as deprived of happiness, what is the mother's love? How will the mother's love manifest? It will manifest in the form that may you have happiness and the cause of happiness. May you be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. This is loving kindness. So, what is the next question? Who will do it? Who will do it? I will do it. This is altruism. I will take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are freed from suffering and that they're endowed with the maximum happiness. I will do it. This is step number 8, altruism. What's the next question? What is the next question? How will you do it? It's amazing you made the courageous comment, but how are we going to do this, right? So, looking at the history of the humanity, we see that 2,500 years ago, there was a young prince by the name Siddhartha. And he succeeded in this. The way and manner in which Acharya Dignaga said, what is that? What are the two lines? The one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugadan, protector, to you amid prostrations. So, looking at the biography of this Buddha in these two lines as indicated by Acharya Dignaga, then you see that, wow, I have a role model there. So, how he succeeded in doing this is by attaining three perfect qualities. Three perfect qualities. Perfect love, perfect knowledge, and a perfect power. Three perfect qualities. So, in what way these three perfect qualities helps you to benefit all the beings. So, this we need to know. What are they? What are three perfect qualities? Perfect knowledge, perfect love, and perfect power. Okay, first let's say, this is very important. Let's say you as a young girl or young boy, maybe age, say 10, 11, 12, and your father tells you that, hey, my daughter, my son, you study well. If you study well, I'm always there to support you. And one day, it's like your science exam in a week's time. And you remember what your father said. You go to your father and tell your father, now you promised to help me. Now I need help. I want to study. My science exam is approaching. Please teach me science. And the father would say that what? Father would say, I'm very sorry. When I was in school, I always failed in science. So the father could not help you. Why the father could not help you? Because he is lacking knowledge. So somebody to help you, the person must have a perfect knowledge. Okay. Then the father says, don't worry, our next door neighbor is a professor in science professor in a university. You can seek his help. And you go there, knock on the door, and the professor comes out. Hey, little girl, little boy, what do you want? What can I do for you? Please help me. My science exam is approaching. And the professor says, $2,000 per hour. $2,000 per hour. No way. You go to father, this is what the professor is asking, $2,000 per hour, right? And the professor says, you know that I'm Nobel laureate in physics. I'm not an ordinary professor, I'm Nobel laureate in physics. $2,000 per hour. And the father, I'm very sorry. Okay, even the professor could not help you. Science professor could not help you. Why he would not help you? Because he's lacking love. You're getting it? So for somebody to help you perfectly well, the person must be endowed with perfect love. Okay. Then the father thought about it, and the father said, hey, my girl, my son, don't worry. Although your mother is not a professor, science professor in university, but when she was in school, she was a topper in science every year. And your mother was out, and she's coming, expected to come like 4 p.m. She comes and you jump to the mother, please teach me science. And the mother says, please don't come too close to me. I ate some food and it happened to be stale food and she has a problem. What problem? You understand it? Right? And she says, I have a pain. Please don't touch me. Even the mother could not help you. What's the problem? She does not have the power. She has knowledge, she has love, but she doesn't have the power. So anybody, if somebody were to be the person to perfectly help you, the person must be endowed with these three perfect qualities. Perfect love, perfect knowledge, and perfect power. So anyone who is endowed with these three perfect qualities is known as the reliable guide. Reliable guide to total fearlessness and infinite happiness. So, saying that, I will take responsibility to help all these dear mother sentient beings. The question is, how? When you say how, the answer is that I will attain the state of the perfection in these three qualities: perfect love, perfect knowledge, and perfect power. But remove all the material defilements, and the seed of perfection within me becomes manifest, like the gold mixed with the mud. Gold mixed with mud. Although the function of the gold is to glow, or the nature of the gold is to glow, but when mixed with the mud, you don't see anything glowing there. And ordinary people like us, we may throw this, but the gold experts will say, no, don't throw this, there's gold there. How do you know that? And the gold expert will remove the mud, and as the mud is removed more and more, the gold inside will start to glow. You're getting it? So, as we pursue through this journey, you remove the material defilements more and more, then the gold inside the seed of perfection which exists in everyone, whether you're believer or non-believer, whether Buddhist, non-Buddhist, whether male, female, everyone has this seed of perfection. The gold-like seed of perfection will start to glow. So all the difference gone, then this seed becomes the manifest form of the perfection known as the infinite happiness, or technically referred to as Buddhahood. You're getting it? So this is when you see this, then you make a commitment that may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. May I become Buddha endowed with 3 perfect qualities to benefit all sentient beings. Okay, so that is bodhicitta. Okay, anytime, so step 9 finished. Anytime this feeling becomes very spontaneous, so where otherwise when you go through these steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 9, and through these efforts, with a concerted effort in these steps, and finally gradually the feeling comes, a very strong feeling comes, still this is not the full-fledged bodhicitta, because this is a contrived bodhicitta. It is not spontaneous. So where without having to work on these steps, and anytime you can have this feeling, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings, wholeheartedly, spontaneously. At that point, you have generated the uncontrived bodhicitta. The moment the bodhicitta is generated within you, you are referred to as the bodhisattva. You're getting it? The moment this word bodhicitta is generated within you very spontaneously, at that point, you become a bodhisattva. Okay. So now as a bodhisattva who made the commitment, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. So what steps are there for that person to so at the moment it's on the aspirational level, may I become. And then the final stage is actually having become an enlightened one. So in between, how many steps are there? There are 5 steps. This is indicated by the Heart Sutra mantra. Tyatha gade gade para gade para samgade bodhi swaha. Tyatha means here is thus. Gade gade is go. Para gade, go beyond. Para sangate, go utterly beyond. Bodhi swaha, establish your full awakening. You getting it? Let me say this again. How many paths are there? Gate, para samgate, bodhi swaha. 5. So these 5 in English, literal translation is go beyond, go utterly beyond, and establish your full awakening, where all the mental deformities are gone, and you experience a total fearlessness and an infinite happiness. So these 5 are known as the 5 paths to enlightenment. 5 paths to enlightenment. What are they? The first one is, quickly. Our first one is known as path of accumulation. Number 2 is path of preparation. The first one, path of accumulation, in Tibetan, Tsoglam. Number 2 is path of preparation, in Tibetan, Jorlam. Number 3 is path of seeing, in Tibetan, Thonglam. Number 4, path of meditation, in Tibetan, Gomlam. Number 5, path of normal learning, in Tibetan, Miloblam. Okay, let me say this again. Path of accumulation, path of preparation, path of seeing, path of meditation, path of normal learning. Okay. So, I'm thinking of doing till, it's already almost like 11. And we have some questions to be done, and then of course there are many things to go. So the remaining part will be, otherwise questions we'll do in this second session, right? Okay, so we'll stop here. Okay, 1 or 2 questions, seems like there are hands coming up, who are not concentrating on what I've been saying. One is there, and one is here, Chelsea and Navia. Navia, tell me, what's your question?
I wanted to ask your opinion on a different perspective. How do you deal with someone who's not your mom and you need to give
Be very precise. Who is that?
A friend.
Huh?
A friend of mine. Like from the last 3 years, I feel tired from this person.
Tired? Leave. If you're tired of the fire, leave.
I just feel very.
Huh?
I feel guilty because then the person is.
Are you tired with him or he is tired with you? He is not tired with you? Are you sure? Yeah, so this is sometimes you make others tired and you think that you are tired. Right? In short, in all these, say, a simple answer is, say, finally, a sound of a clap. A sound of a clap is because the two hands come into being. External factors, internal factors. Two factors come together, invariably will explode into the sound of a clap of miseries. And you feel tired means you feel agitated. What is the other person's mindset? Did you check it? Is the other person happy? Not happy? If you do not check it, you're looking at it from your point of view. You're getting it? The moment you always look at things from your point of view, it always disturbs you. You are never happy. You also need to learn how to look at things from others' point of view. This is so important. If you don't learn this, you will never be happy. Right? One thing which tortures us is not other people. It's your wrong thinking, wrong discrimination. To always look at things from your perspective. For example, what happened was that, okay, there's one gentleman who did this. What is this? Nalanda diploma course, 1 year course. And he was somebody who was the least interested in studies. And somehow, because the persuasion and the skillfulness of the wife, he finally surrendered to this. He did it. And one day he came to me and said, Geshe-la, okay, Navya, don't forget it. Listen to the story. She said, Geshe-la, imagine, you can't imagine the impact of the Nalanda diploma course on me. I said, what kind of impact? What kind of change? He said that in my car, I always used to keep a hockey stick. Hockey stick. I said, what is this for? He said then, that's easy. You drive your car, somebody cuts, you come out, take out the hockey stick and beat. Right? This is the job of the hockey stick. I said, then what? Then what? In what way it helps you? Then he said, after taking a course, to my amazement, I realized that for 3 months, this hockey stick did not have any work. I said, how come? And he said that when I drive, somebody cuts, I stop, and then I let the person, please go. Right? So when he said, please go, the person leaves, and I can drive very freely. I don't have to waste time fighting with the person. My time is saved. And the hockey stick does not any work. Since the hockey stick does not any work, why should it be in my car? He got rid of it. He said, this is a change. This is amazing. So therefore, the point is that always learn how to change your cognitive thought process, to change your feelings, to change the intention from agitation to the calmness. You're getting it? For this one thing is how to look at things from the other's point of view. In other words, be in the shoes of others. You're getting it? This is beautiful. Because if you look at that, why the cutting, he doesn't know the traffic rules, right? Then agitation comes. Okay, he must be busy, he has some important things. In fact, one time, there was elderly man, he must be in his 70s, I must be in my early 40s. And he came to my office and we are very close. I was very busy, and he simply wants to spend time with me, and I have no time. And I was sitting with, and he knows I was very busy. And then he said, okay, Geshe, I know you're busy. Can I come to you to see you 2 minutes every day? I said, okay. So he has to go, right? So he can go. I said, okay. Then I know that 2 minutes will become 1 hour, right? So he said, then he still sits. And then I was busy doing my work, office work. Then he said, Geshe-la, I'm going to go to Lodi Garden. garden next to Tibet house, Lodi garden, and he still wants my attention, Lodi garden. I said, very good. Then he went, and he came back, said that, Geshe, tell me, in one word, what should I meditate on Lodi garden? So that's easy for me, he said, compassion. Then he left. Again he came back, and he said, Geshe, compassion works so well in Lodi garden. It doesn't work in the traffic. I said, why not? Because people cut, and you feel agitated. Compassion doesn't work there. Then I told him that, okay, just don't always think from your point of view. The person who cuts, think that this person might have an ailing mother in a hospital where the doctors are not accepting the mother because the mother did not have the cash, money at hand to be deposited. So the mother is waiting for the son, and the son has to rush. Think of this, instead of you feeling agitated, you will feel compassion towards this person. Or a situation can be that this person might have a little daughter in the school where all the other school children already left with their parents. Now this little girl was just in so much of fear, apprehension, waiting in the school, expecting the father to come to pick her, and the father is caught up in the traffic and he just cuts through to think about the daughter. If you can think like this, your mind will flow with compassion. Then he said, oh, that's nice. Then he left. So what I'm saying is that we all don't always think from your point of view. Also learn how to think from others' point of view. Then you will learn how to empathize with other people. You will feel compassionate. When you feel compassion, what's the feeling like? What's the feeling like? Agitation or calmness and pleasant? It's a very pleasant, soothing feeling, beautiful feeling. Yes.
I hope that you could tell us about your work in the prisons. This is a good time.
Okay. Yes. In fact, the prison I went to the one prison in America. From the side one Buddhist center, so they organized me to visit the prison there, and the people to give some talk to them. And another was in Bangalore prison. I went there. In fact, I would say it's a beautiful experience, very beautiful experience. That usually we tend to have a very wrong perception of what the prisoners are, and usually this is one thing that we do. Again, change of the perspective on the basis of being in the other's shoes. If somebody steals like 100 rupees, 200 rupees, which means that generally it's because of the desperation. Most likely because the person doesn't have anything to eat and so forth. So these people, they end up in the prisons. This is, the sad. Even they have the Buddha nature, zero perfection there. And oftentimes, these people, because they get time there, and then they could see that this is not a pleasant place, and then they regret what they did, and when they get the correct information, the teaching of the Buddha about emptiness, about the bodhicitta, about the four seals, the reality of life, and so forth, then they actually transform. So therefore, my experience in the prison there, meeting with the prisoners, both America and here in India, is extremely, extremely moving and touching. In fact, there was one prisoner in America today supposed to be for capital punishment, execution. And this person, he met with the Rinpoche, and so this Rinpoche somehow, I don't know whether Rinpoche introduced or somebody introduced to this prisoner that there's a Tibetan program there, and then this prisoner is so keen to do the Nalanda diploma course, and he did the Nalanda diploma course. Otherwise, he was going to be, so it's a matter of time for capital punishment. And he did this course, and then he's so keen that now he is keen to do the Nalanda Master's course. Now he is a part of this course also. So for this, this Rinpoche is just amazing. He's coordinating between him and Tibet House, and then he's a prisoner. He doesn't have any income source, so forth. So we said, don't worry. And even the prison guard, the correction, what do you call that? Correction center. The prison guard there, they're apprehensive. They will double check what is Tibet House. Is that like a mafia gang or a genuine center? They're checking. And then they, so how can you prove to us that this person, this prisoner, is genuinely interested in the cause? And from our side, we provide all the documents, whatever the prison guard asks, we just provide all the documents. And then in the prison, they do not have the proper Wi-Fi, no internet connection, because of course, it's very dangerous. So the prison guard also finally accepted that he can have the soft copies, they download it and then hand over to him in the form of in the pen drive and so forth, not online. Online is not possible. So this was what he's doing. So we see that many people are transformed into the prison and they become really good. Yeah. So I would say that where the opportunity arises, it is good that we go there, meet with them, talk to them, and it's not about religious conversion. It's about the well-being of the person. That the person should be happy. The person should be transformed. This is so important. Transformed from the evil thought to a more compassionate thought. This is what is expected. Are you good? Any more questions? Okay, so we will stop here. And Tenzi Chola Tendola. Okay, so we have the okay. Otherwise, I like to offer this prayer flags to all of you now. That's better, instead of waiting for the next session. Okay, all of us come to get this prayer flags. Okay, otherwise, what we can do is that, one option is that those who are leaving now will come and others will do in second session, right? Those who are leaving now will come. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Yeah.
Induced by great compassion, you taught the Induced by great compassion, you taught the Inactive Lama to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha, Gautama, I pay homage. Chanjula asked me to take this opportunity on behalf of everyone to give our immense thanks to Geshe Dorji. First of all, I'd like to share a personal experience. It was in the 1982 when I was 7 years old, ignorant in the great sacred place of Bodhgaya along the river Narasana, where the Buddha had gone through 6 years of suffering so that he can release all sentient beings from suffering. While playing ignorantly along the river and digging up the sand, I found a small pouch. Inside the pouch there was some coin. Being a 7-year-old, I didn't know the value. Me and some of my siblings and friends, we went to a guy selling ice cream on a cart. And we sat there, we liked some ice cream, and we gave him the coin. He was so surprised. He said, "You can have everything." And we gave him the coins from the pouch. And now thinking, it mostly might have been gold or silver, but being a 7-year-old, we had no idea. And when I think of that, it's very ignorant of me. But still, that was just monetary. At the most, it's like $1,000, $2,000. But now, looking at where we have reached, we have taken the great teaching of the Bodhicitta from the Geshe. Like the text says, like a blind person going through a heap of garbage, coming up with the precious teaching. Sorry, Krishna. Coming up with the precious teaching. Sorry, Krishna, it's not comfortable.
Mare, ore.
Coming up with the precious teaching of Bodhicitta that we will cherish forever. Because such teaching is not easily available for everyone, and everyone doesn't have the ear or the eye for it either. But common kittens playing on the YouTube gets millions of views, but something like Bodhicitta, only a limited amount of people get to see it and have actually the karma to attend class like this. For that, we thank Geshe to take his time, kindness, and true Bodhicitta altruistic mind to take time and effort for us. Time in, time out, we have seen that he teaches from 6 in the morning to 6 in the night, and then sometimes till 8 in the night. And in between there, he meets 10 or 15 people, 15 minutes each. Sometimes I know he doesn't get a chance to use bathroom or even eat dinner. But due to his immense kindness, he knows that even if he misses his dinner, if he can change somebody's outlook and give them ultimate happiness, he finds it worth. To that, on behalf of everyone, I pay my homage and gratitude for your teachings. With immense gratitude and praise for all your noble wishes to be filled effortlessly, on behalf of all the students at the Bodhicitta retreat, please accept this small token of appreciation from our group on everyone's behalf. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go to refuge in the Guru. Also in Geshe-la's honor and for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Shangula and Jagannath are so kindly accepted to release at least, hopefully, more than 113 fishes back in the night from the fishermen or the butcher. Today they will try to go to the butcher's place to release at least 113 fishes in the wild in order for our wishes for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live at least 113 years or more.
Okay. Okay, Chola, thank you so much. And okay, so the Chola Tendola and Ajab Kesandwala, Ajbemla, they were taking the whole responsibility with Prince Dongala and the involved with Ajab Kesandla and all this, the whole group. In fact, this is something so unique. In my life, for all these retreats, there's so many retreats happened, and this is the largest Tibetan group. And the two mostly from USA and Canada, England. Yeah. Okay. And the young boys and girls from the Varanasi, and from Delhi. Yeah, young boys and girls, the Tibetan young boys and girls. And this is a very interesting group. Okay, and then there are many of my TCV school, the former TCV school, the seniors. Yeah, it's a great joy to see them once again after like perhaps 40 years. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Let's pray for the long life, as Chola Tendula said, let us pray for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who is the true source of joy and happiness on this earth, that he lives long and that his wishes be fulfilled spontaneously. And let us also pray that the COVID-19 subsides altogether, and that everything will go back to normalcy, where nobody has to live in fear of the COVID. And so also let us pray that by virtue of this accumulation merit, that the Ukraine war and all these border tensions everywhere in the world cease altogether, and that the world leaders, they come to get sense how to go in line with the aspirations and the wishes or the wisdom of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to resort to dialogue rather than to create the armament competitions. And let's pray that the teaching of the compassion, the teaching of the wisdom of emptiness, the wisdom of interdependency, which form the foundation of the dialogue, which form the basis of peace in the world. May these two teachings of the Buddha flourish in the minds of all Tibetan sentient beings. With this mind, let us pray, say this heart-sweet mantra 3 times. Deyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhisattva Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisattva Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisattva